Merry Christmas, everybody. This week, I went and saw the live action version of Mufasa, the Lion King. Let's talk about it.
The story about a prince who would come to be known as Scar and an orphan named Mufasa. Two brothers who set off on a dangerous journey to find a new home and a new family.
Okay, so before we begin, I want to tell you that this was the live action movie. And when I say live action, I don't actually mean live action. I mean, it's CG. It's all CG. It's not animated, but it's CG animated. And it's just like that other one. And I have to admit, I did not see the original Lion King live animated. So I don't think I was missing a lot, but I heard it wasn't that great because you couldn't see the emotion in the cats and the animals' facial features like you could in the cartoon, the animated movie. But this movie, let's talk about this movie because this movie, Mufasa, what have I always told y'all? I've always told you that prequels have to be able to stand on their own. And this movie does. It totally stands on its own and it's a new story and it tells you why everyone respected Mufasa. Everyone loved Mufasa. We have had a crap ton of prequels this year and last year with villain origin stories and brother against brother. Let me give you a couple examples. Brother against brother. How can you say that without saying Thor and Loki, right? Or even the most famous one, who they're not actually brothers, but Obi-Wan and Anakin.
You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
All right. We also have Optimus Prime and Megatron. They claimed that they were brothers or like brothers. You have Professor X and Magneto. Now they had this super tight relationship, whether or not that was in X-Men '97 or the movies or the comics, but they were always tight, and they were best friends and brothers until they had that differencing of opinion. Villain origin stories, we've had a bunch of those as well. Okay, we've had the whole Sony verse, or villain verse from Sony, being Morbius, Craven, Venom, and not to mention the Joker 2, the Penguin. Okay? Oh, actually, the Penguin is not, it's a villain origin story, but it's not a prequel. Here's another one. And for all you Hunger Games people, the Hunger Games, Songbirds and Snakes, where we see the rise of President Snow. Something else about this movie is I didn't realize it was a musical. I didn't know it was going to be a musical, and not because I forgot that there is a Lion King musical on Broadway. It really caught me off guard as I'm sitting there watching the movie. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of singing in this movie. And so that makes technically the third musical I've seen this year. Not meaning to. We had Wicked earlier, just a couple weeks ago. We had Joker 2 just a couple months ago, and now we have Mufasa, the Lion. Oh man, I'm not the biggest fan of musicals, but when it wasn't singing, it was pretty good. And I gotta say that the CG on this was really, really good. They did a good job. Unlike from what I've heard, so I can't say for myself, but from what I've heard, the first one wasn't like that. But this one, you could see the facial contortions, and they tried to make sure that it expressed emotion. And I want to hit back on the death of Mufasa. That's just something that you can't unsee from the original movie, from the 1994 movie.
Brother, help me!
Long live the king.
When I was watching this, over 100 times with my son, I couldn't see how he could just watch that part over and over again. I mean, he was little, and that's something Disney does is they will introduce you to death quick.
Dad, come on. You gotta get up. Dad, We gotta go home.
Especially in the 90s. They had good animated movies in the 90s. If you notice, there's most Disney animated movies, there's not two parents. There's only one for some reason. That's all right. I gotta get off my soapbox about this. But let's just say, I want everybody to tell me what you thought. If you've seen it already, tell me what you thought. Give me a like if you like what I said. You can give me a dislike if you don't like what I said. But I'm really liking this movie, and it's worth your time to go see in the theater. And it's Christmas. What else do you have to do? You got family over. You don't want to see them. Go to the theater. Well, a lot of people do. In fact, I'm going to be doing that when I go see Nosferatu, Christmas Day or the day after Christmas or whatever. And there's also the Bob Dylan movie coming out, and I think I want to see that, but it looks like it's one of those Oscar movies, so we'll see. But until next time, I will see you at the theater. I will see you on my couch. I will see you by my iPad. And folks, that's all you'll see me at. Bye, everybody.